Yoku Irashaimashita, or welcome back.
Welcome to Getsu
Whatever
Fuuma
that
Part
means.
3, and dear God, it is great to finally have no echo. Loving your new headset, Darkstar.
Thank you. And now
So,
the password
yeah,
screen's written in hiragana.
oh god, is this going to be one of those NES games with infinite password with both numbers and letters?
If you mean like the Western release of Metroid, yes. Don't worry, it's pretty much their version of the alphabet.
I
Oh.
see. Is this in kanji?
No, this is hiragana, the alphabet used for Japanese letter words.
Oh yes, I was just wondering if it was in like,
Oh,
the
yeah,
alphabet of kanji, the one that...
Right. They have
Kanji's
like
the really
three
fancy
different
symbol for
titles,
specific
so
things.
Ah,
Egypt.
And katakana is the alphabet used for loan words.
so I wonder,
Like
is this
Sonic, for
code
example.
forming a pun of sorts?
Not that I know of.
No, I think it follows the usual trends of password, like being whatever the fuck they are, you know, like 3, 2, 1, something like that. Yeah, the important thing is that we're back finally. Well, by the way, in order to remember the password, you actually took note about it, because
Yes, I had to write it down.
It's an easy one to remember.
You know what's funny? Now that I think about it, this guy's gameplay is reminding me a lot of Zero from the Mega Man X games.
Yeah, the
Really,
problem is
I was
that in
I was
Mega Man
thinking
X
of-
game. Yeah?
I was thinking at the time, Capcom was about to make the Ninja Turtles games for NES. So therefore, I think Fuuma was the base for Leonardo.
And thus
Oh.
Leonardo was the base for Zero and Mega Man X?
But
Yeah.
but that's Konami, not Capcom.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was the point. We were linking this to Capcom. Like you said, Capcom is making this stuff for TMNT for SNES at the time.
No,
Well,
I said
to be
Konami. I
honest,
think Konami was making stuff for the NES.
Well,
Konami made TMNT for the NES.
Oh.
yeah, well, to be honest, when you make a platforming with swordplay into it, you have to, you know, pass through a phase when you have to draw on a piece of paper all the potential moves your character can have. And in a setting like that, it's kind of limited what a character can actually do, you know. So it may be that
Especially
moves
when-
are just like that, are just common, you know, like the
Oh,
sword
this-
slash,
Especially
the speed
We had like
jump,
the
you
Make
know.
Space at the time.
Yeah. Granted, this is on the NES at the time. I mean,
So I think they only had like
like,
3 megabits of space.
there are Star Wars video games for the Super Nintendo that are basically have the same gameplay of Zero from Mega Man X.
and then there's games like Kingdom Hearts Chain of Memories GBA, which really have, well, all over the sort, even
Card
in the
games in a castle!
Okay, that was one stupid thing of Chain of Memories, was the card thing. Granted, it's not unplayable, it's just like, well, it's really frustrating when you get a bad set, especially when the bad guys can just as easily offset you with a Zero.
Oh yeah, on that note, I should remind you all to watch Josh Scorcher top 15 worst bosses of Kingdom Hearts, or worst top 10,
Speaking
I
of
don't
which, I've
remember.
never played Chain of Memories.
Trust me, you didn't
basically,
lose
Chain of-
anything.
Let me put it like this. Chain of Memories is basically a retread of Kingdom Hearts 1, but with the card system, and then there's the bosses from the Castle of Oblivion. That's pretty much all that's different. Well, granted, there's also
Plot-wise,
Riku's story, but yeah, pretty much when you're playing a story, you're basically going to be redoing the first Kingdom Hearts game minus Ansem the Dark Heartless and all that baggage.
Yeah. Plot-wise, it said something original, but overall, it just, you know, it just recycled all the assets from the first game, minus the card thing.
I guess you could say that, like, well, it is necessary if you want to know the story, and there is Riku's gameplay, but
Yeah,
otherwise...
it's necessary for the story because some elements are important for what is to come and what happened before, like we have seen in Birth by Sleep.
I'll give it this, though.
Yeah,
in all its
like I
entirety-
was saying the other time, the Kingdom Hearts series is so convoluted that you can't miss basically any title because there is still one tiny bit of detail that you can't lose in order to understand the grand scheme of things.
Well, yes.
Looks like they got some of their convolutedness from Metal Gear.
It doesn't help that pretty much they like to milk the franchise by making constant spin-off and mid-quel or prequel.
Yeah,
I think they call it intervals.
Nonetheless. And Darkstar, at least Metal Gear is funny. Kingdom Hearts is not.
That is true. Metal Gear is
machine, son.
Metal Gear balances out the serious and the funny.
I mean, when you have a writer like Kojima...
where is your memory card?
When you have a writer like Kojima to back up your project, you know that you can balance things up, but when it's a dork like Nomura, who just think about Jersey Shore characters and repeating over and over the words friends, hearts, light and darkness, you know something's not right.
Yeah. I will say though, I was pretty much okay with them, but the thing that was the last straw was Recoded.
Oh yeah.
Recoded. That is basically a copy, but the worst thing is that it copies, but it leaves out Atlantica and Neverland. Freaking Neverland! Come on, that's the one world I always look forward to.
Since Peter Pan was one of my, you know, most hated Disney movies and stories in general, I don't miss that.
Well, I'm basically talking about, the flying mechanic, basically.
Stupid scorpion killed me. Centipede, whatever it is.
Anyway, yeah, back to this game. So yeah, I've noticed that you have gotten pretty good with the editing out deaths.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was just my capture card goofing up.
Really? Well, I guess it worked out good, seeing as how it skipped off a lot of unnecessary time. By the looks of it, I guess.
I've died twice in the same stage.
So, where are we? In some evil village?
Or maybe some shrine or something?
With evil bouncing moons.
Or the angry son from Super Mario Bros. 3.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What else
Minus
is from hell
the
in
angry
here?
face, you know. Truly, the pit of hell.
Yes, the pit of hell from all the worst of video game companies. Behold, the Barrel of Doom from Sega, the evil sun from Mario.
What's next? The disappearing platforms from Mega Man?
Actually, we already passed an invisible platform.
Oh! Called it.
Oops. Yeah, it's like NES hell. Oh, geez.
I wonder if Wreck-It Ralph was ever considered going here.
I hope not for his sake, you know.
Stupid game over.
Gangbanged by the sun and the scorpion. Okay. So anyway, here's a question I was thinking. Why those bad guys are trying to stop you? After all, aren't you basically the same as them, you know, like an undead?
I'm still alive, but it's kind of like when Goku was accidentally got sent to hell in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay,
see, so it's basically a rite of passage.
I didn't knew you were, the character was still alive, and yeah, it's with Dragon Ball Z, the thing is that Goku basically had all his rivals basically to hell, so it wasn't a really pleasant journey. But anyway,
whatever.
You still have to think that in Dragon Ball Z, that is a relative concept, you know.
Dragon Ball Z makes so many things relevant.
No, I mean, like I said, irrelevant, I think it's the term basically. So in a sense that is not really important.
It's not as big of a deal as it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that. So anyway, oh yeah, never. So exactly, now we're just heading for the next dungeon, and it's just one section after another. Jesus.
This
basically
one
drags
is the
on.
most tedious.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really... It's really unbalanced in this way, you know.
Yeah, particular with this maze.
I don't mean necessarily the difficulty, you know, in both platforming section, but the fact that you just have to do over and over and over again before going into a dungeon, you know.
Yes. It's like singing a song that gets on everybody's nerves. I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves.
Yeah.
Let it go,
Also,
let it
no
go.
thanks.
I think that qualifies.
Also, I suppose
I've never seen Frozen, so I don't know what it sounds like.
Oh,
Also, I fear there's a lot of backtracking in this game, right?
absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, you know
I
there's
spent
backtracking when you...
I spent some time killing those snails to power up my sword.
Yeah, I can't believe that you
Okay.
literally have to go backwards for a level. I mean, that takes backtracking to quite the level.
Yeah.
Oh, was that a video game pun? You said level.
Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Harder.
Don't worry, I took out all the backtracking from this maze.
Thanks.
Also, yeah, exactly. What those monsters do if you actually run into them while on the main map?
Oh, it's kind of like those encounters in Zelda 2, where if you bump into one of the moving thingies, you'll have to go through a little mini stage of enemies.
So
Oh,
basically
yeah.
it punishes you for running into them? Or is it
Yeah, pretty much.
So, does it work like New Super Mario Brothers in that you can get a reward for beating them all?
Nope,
Ah,
just experience and health and money.
Yeah, you have to remember that this is L and this is an NES game. There's no such thing as a reward.
As
well,
a free reward.
you know, I always love that stance, the idea that basically killing a guy will automatically grant you money and make money appear where he once stood. Imagine if life were that easy for us.
That's the way you speak modern gaming.
Oh, but don't you know? Hey, you know, wouldn't it be funny if parents used that as a reason for why apparently video game messes with the minds of their children? Oh, my child tried to jump on his friend's head because he thought that he would poof into a dust of smoke and give him a one-up.
That would probably be something I
Wait.
would have done at the time.
Those are bouncing skull scarabs.
Bouncing skulls and scarabs. This seems
Skulls
familiar.
Blue beetle and iguana.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, it's a. Oh yeah, we're also. Yeah, it's a skull, but in reality is a beetle that jumps. Huh.
Jumping beetle. There's a
Or
joke.
a rabbit.
I just
or
know
whatever.
there's gotta be a joke here
Wait,
somewhere.
Did you just say killer rabbit?
Yeah, it jumps like a rabbit after seeing
Oh
well.
no, it's the killer rabbit from Monty Python.
Aha! I knew
Not
there was
that-
a joke
any-
pun to be had there.
Anything but that killer rabbit. It bites people's heads off. Literally.
So yeah, what's this fatty dude wants to do? Wants
Well,
from you?
Yeah, he won't let me pass unless I have all 3 passes.
Oh jeez.
Uh,
And this pathway to the
It
next
re-
island.
This really reminds me of Darksiders 2, you know, collect at least
That's
this
almost
amount
better.
of things in order to pass this, but one of the fragments of the things you need to collect is divided in 5 parts, so you need to collect them too, and stuff like that.
bonus points if it's an RPG and it has you go through several side quests just to get something done.
And the part is over, so I think we'll see those parts next time.